Thank you for stopping by Luxuriously Poor, and I hope you find today's video helpful. And I would like to say that if you need wisdom on what to do for now or the future, this book is extremely helpful. Okay, I'm going to give you my recipe for sourdough biscuits. It's the favorite one that I like. And if you stay to the end, could you just put a smiley face in the comment section? You don't have to, make a comment necessarily, but I would like to see who's watching my videos to the end. I'm also going to do something a little bit different next year. I am going to show you or explain to you things that people put on YouTube that I have tried that do not work. And some of it I really don't think you should even do to begin with. Not if you are trying to really save yourself money and really prep. So I hope you'll stick around because the new year will bring lots of surprises when you realize a lot of things that they put on here that you've never tried yet, but you think you will in an emergency doesn't work. Now, I'm showing you these two jars here because this jar doesn't work, okay? It is too small at the top for you to really get your hand in. You can't get a measuring cup in it. And the other one is much bigger, much open. It's easier to get your hand in it. That's another thing. These people are showing jars of bubbling sourdough starter, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, really? You must not really be using your starter or your discard for much of anything if you've got that much going in it. Because I don't ever have enough discard. By the time you make pancakes or biscuits and you're taking your bread, your whatever bread recipe you decide to use, you don't have nothing left. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to use a cup of this discard. Now, you want to use the cup of discard. You don't want to feed it. This is not discard that you're going to take out and then feed it and then make your biscuits. No, it's unfed. You're going to just take it from the jar the way it is, straight from the refrigerator. You're going to take a cup of it. Now, in this bowl, it's nothing but 1 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt. But it calls for 1 stick of unsalted butter because these are buttery biscuits. But the thing of it is, I don't buy unsalted butter. I'm not going to buy unsalted butter for just 1 or 2 recipes. You can cut back on your salt by either adding just a 1/2 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon to make up. I probably would go with a 1/2 teaspoon. And then if the salt, if you have salted butter, then just use the stick of salted butter. That's what I would do. But I don't worry about the salt or it being too salty. Not to me, but some people do. So if you want to just use salted butter, that's how I would do it. I would just cut back on the 3/4 teaspoon and use a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in this. So I'm going to cut up these butter in very small pieces so I can rub it together. Okay, this recipe calls for 1 cup of the starter, sourdough starter. I said it's not been fed. After you've crumbled up your butter into your flour with your fingertips, then you try to scoop yourself out a cup of discard from your discard jar where you've been putting your discard. I don't have a whole lot of discard, but you want to put the discard into the bowl. No milk, no water. Just put it into the bowl that you put the butter, the 1 cup of flour, and the 2 teaspoons of baking powder and your salt in. Because you're going to mix this very gently, slowly, patiently into your flour. Okay, I'm going to throw my discard in here. You just kind of want to mix this together. Some people use their hands, some people use a spoon. I start off with a spoon, okay? And you just want to get this mixed in really well. And I took this straight from the refrigerator. I did not let this sit out all night. You don't do that. You just take it out and make a ball of dough with this. So I'm just going to keep sitting here stirring with this until I get it all mixed in. Let me see if you can see this. It's starting to look like biscuit dough, but I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this, and when I get it all mixed in, we'll come back and we're going to roll out our biscuits and bake them in the oven. Okay, here is my dough ball. You see that? Now, I'm going to try to give it a few twists, a few turns to push it down like you would regular dough. And then I'm going to roll it out here. Sorry, it's very early in the morning here, and you know, I don't have one of those rings that people have, professional. I'm not a professional at this, but I'm a professional at getting by and doing really good on very little. And I mean very little. So, you just want to kind of roll this out. And I'll show you my famous cutter. I'm going to put these in a cast iron skillet. Let me get my biscuit cutter for you and show you. This is my biscuit cutter. Okay. Let me step out of the front of that so the light is better for you. This is a small batch, but you really need to get yourself accustomed. If you believe that things are going to get really, really bad, then you need to get yourself accustomed to cooking just enough for that meal, or maybe for the second, but so that there's nothing left over. Okay, let me get my cast iron skillet and put these in it. I'm going to show you something, a little trick that I do. I always poke holes. Grandma says, now this is the last odd biscuit, so I just pat it out. This one, I cut close to the edge. I don't care. It's going to go down the hatch. Grandma always said that this lets the steam out of the biscuit. Makes them airier and fluffier. I don't know if it does or not, because I have always done this ever since I've made biscuits, and so I've never made them not doing it, so I don't know if it's true or not, because you know how we do things. We're told something and we just do it that way, and that's it. Now I'm going to put these in the oven and we'll come back when they're done. Okay, here they are. Beautifully delicious sourdough biscuits. Now one of them is kind of broken open, that one. That's the one I kind of shaped with my hand. I don't really care. This is for gravy. And so it doesn't matter. It's the odd one. I would like to tell each and every one of you, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you learned something. And may you have a very, very Merry Christmas. And may God bless each and every one of you. And each and every one of you are in my prayers. And I hope you'll try this recipe, because it is lip-smacking good. And great way to use any discard that you may have. I'm going to give you pancakes too. Oh, they are so good. I don't have hardly any discard. I need more because I use it a lot. Well, God bless and happy or Merry Christmas to each and every one of you.